Morning, Renee. This is the best way I figure I can help you. However, it's not working for me just this minute. So this might just be uh, what I think should work. Anyway, so the pink is one size 10 shoe back. So about 14 or 16 inches. This is about as close as I would try. Now, this grass hasn't been cut, so it's probably a little bit more like yours. And it's not working real well. So the way to do it, the way I was taught to do it, and the way has worked for me in the past is this. Put your hands chuck up on the mallet. Now this is a 44-inch handle, so your mallet is about this long anyway. So if you choking up, you're down here. I can't do it quite that much because it'll hit me in the face, which I'll go over in a second. So this, if you line up, cast a little bit, stalk a little bit, you're going to come up to where kind of where your toes are, and even with the front of the ball. And this is not 10 o'clock. This is more like, I suppose it's 10:30. And you want the mallet to be, you don't want it to be 45 because that won't work. It'll crush it into the ground. You want to be just less than that. And then you want to kind of punch it rather than, there's nowhere to follow through. So you want to kind of punch it. And then if you line up, kind of cast like this, line up where you're going to go, bend your knees a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of carry through like this. That would have gone through if I'd aimed right. It's not an exact science. Be careful not to touch the ball while you're in your stance, or throws over and next person plays. All right, so that's one. Now the other way to do this that I recently heard Tom Balding say he hates, but which I've seen Sharif do in the past, and that is to line up backwards. I think for people that use a hammer regularly, this is an easier way to hit the ball. You're not you're not worried about hitting yourself in the face with the handle, but lining up is difficult. So stalking from the back, put the handle over the center of the wicket, the mallet center on the ball, and then same kind of angle. You want to get right about 10:30. The beauty of this is if you hit yourself, you're hitting yourself in the butt instead of the face. That's that one. All comes down to what works for you and your handle and the lawn on that given day. This is about a yard back. Be careful not to step on the ball behind you. And again, I choke up on about a yard. I choke up about 6 inches down from my normal stalking. Clearly, most times there wouldn't be a ball in the way. And then I put my toes at about right where the handle meets the mallet, right in the middle. Come up like this, about 10 o'clock. cast over. Now this is problematic because I've done it. You're casting for the jump shot and you're much closer to the ball and you touch the ball and then your turn's over. Bend your knees. Now your normal swing, it hits here. So your brain is saying, okay, I know what I want to do. I want to hit flat, but you don't want to hit flat. So you want to bend your knees and then even kind of lean in when you hit it. And this is why I'm doing this on court 9, because this is practice. Also, I've been wearing a cotton glove on my dominant hand. It just seems to be, it doesn't slip as much in the heat, not being that it's that hot today, but that's the theory. Okay, so that one's done. Now, this off to the side. This is about 2 yards back. Now, the only difference between 1 yard back and 2 yards back is how hard you hit it. Line up, put your feet about halfway. Now, you can stalk to this point, which I didn't do. I recommend it. Stalk to the ball, place it. I've even been putting my toes in to make my hips straighter. About middle of the mallet. Casting. Don't hit the ball. Aim where you're going. Actually hit it too hard because it went over the top. So as you practice this, you'll find out what your reasonable distance is at a reasonable amount of power. And it's all what works for you. All right? True. Now, there are those you might watch on YouTube that can purposely hit it over the top of the wicket. Because sometimes when you're going from one hoop to the next, the wicket is in the way. So in that case, instead of being halfway in, I might be 3/4 of the way up. And I would hit it with considerably more power. Now I have to go get the ball. Now this is about 10, well, it's about 10 feet back, maybe 12 feet back. And I know this is something you don't think you're ever going to try, but why not? And this would be to do it all in one arc is kind of the amount of power that I need to get over the wicket. So that's in my mind. Halfway back, I might not choke up quite as much because I'm going to go farther. Cast. But I need some power. So I'm going to have some good backswings. I also have to retrieve that one. I'm not going to do that one again. The next one to try is 7 yards back. which is about there. That's the boundary. From the boundary to um, hoop one, for instance. And I've only successfully made this shot twice in my life. And what I do is line up, come up like I'm shooting over the wicket. Look at where I'm going, and my knees. Now, I'm not making this all in one arc. It's going to bounce. And considering that I've made some faults already and dug into the lawn, if I bounce there, it's going to throw me off more. There's the idea. That was close. There, no, that hit the ball. Anyway, that's the concept. Hope that helps. Follow me on YouTube, like, bell, whatever.